Hello, this is Diana Ballard, and welcome to the Mom Training Podcast, where we discuss the skills and strategies to create possibilities in motherhood and make it more fun, efficient, organized, and peaceful. Who do you think we're the hardest on? Yeah, let's raise our hand. I think we're the hardest on ourselves, especially as a mom. We have so many things that are put on us that it's hard not to have high expectations for ourselves. I mean, we have things to our left, we have things to our right, we have to do things while we sleep. There are so many things that we have to do. So today we're going to talk about lowering the expectations for ourselves. Now, let me tell you right now, that is not something that I want to hear. With my personality, I'm like, you don't tell me to back down. I'm not talking about backing down, girl. I'm talking about lowering your expectations for you so that one, you're happier, and two, you stop getting so down on yourself all the time. Usually as women or moms, we set expectations that are so high, and especially if we're comparing our life to other people, it's just unrealistic. It's not fun, and there's no way in heck that we can actually keep up with those. So with having a back injury right now, I'm literally very limited to what I can do, and it has been so challenging for me. I can't stand to do the dishes because it hurts if I stand, or picking things up. So there's like very little meal prep happening. We're like, yay, let's have boiled eggs every meal. I mean, it's been ridiculous. And my husband comes home, the house is a mess. It's like, oh my gosh, like talk about a stab to the gut. You're like, hello, honey. Yes, I've been on the couch all day. It's not because I want to be here. It's not because I don't want to be doing things right now and getting the house organized and, staying on top of things. But just right now I can't. Because usually we have a very serious, quick cleaning break right before Daddy comes home to make sure that the house looks okay. And so when he walks in, it's like, hi, good to see you, yada, yada, yada. Like creating a less stressful environment for him to come into. Yeah, the kitchen may not be completely clean, but at least the front room, like when he walks in, is like, okay, we're good. Well, so over the last, 3 months or so, there have been a lot of days when he's come home and the house is like torn apart. Why? Because mommy can't play very well. And so the kids are like on their own. So toys are just dumped everywhere. I'm not like they're like, okay, you have to clean that up first to like do that, because I'm like, okay, well, whatever, I don't care. I'm not as involved. So they'll go and like dump out their whole toy box, and I'm in the living room. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then dishes just seem to always accumulate. Dishes are always growing. They just are. It's like there's the vomiting house monster. And then there's like this organism in our kitchen that just like grows and grows. Like I don't even know how it happens. I'm like, we only had breakfast. Like, why are there so many dishes? It's amazing. So anyway, I have not been able to keep up my expectations. And that has probably been one of the most challenging things. Yes, there's been the pain. There's been not being able to go out of the house, which has been really annoying, kind of boxing me in. But the biggest thing that's been getting to me is my own expectations. For a while, my back started to get better and everything. And so I was like, oh, okay, like this is going good. Like, I've had my time of being down now. And now I can start picking it up again. I can start picking up the pace and being able to do this and that and this and that. Nope. Back down again. So after the cycle continues for a while, it's hard to be positive all the time. It's like, okay, right. Yeah, hi, honey. The house is a disaster again for almost every day for the last couple months. Sorry, how many times can I say sorry? Yeah, can you do all of the dishes from the entire day again instead of just helping me with like the last few I didn't finish? And by the way, you got to make your own lunch tomorrow, and, breakfast is on your own. Now, he's very helpful. Like, I don't do everything for him, but I do a lot for him because I love it and because I want to. But so now he has his responsibilities and the kids and like all this stuff. So like I'm sitting here like chilling on the couch and he's running around being mom and dad. And so I found myself like starting to get really upset. And I had to like step back and be like, why am I so upset? Why am I so angry? And I realized it's because my expectations of myself are not being hit. And so it's not that anyone else is doing anything that's making me angry. Well, with kids and stuff, you can always get angry about something. Let's be real. But it's more that I feel like my worth is connected to those expectations. Like if I'm not hitting a certain level for a certain amount of time, then I'm failing or I'm not worth something. I know definitely I've been struggling with that lately, being like, what am I supposed to do with myself? Like I feel useless. Like I can't do anything. Like we have like 3 to 4 to 5 people come into our house a week to help with things. And I'm like, cool, yeah, so scrub there and, chop that. Yep, yeah, cook that for a little longer while I sit here and just chat with you as you're helping me. It just has really like hit me. And so I really had to have a come to Jesus moment with myself and be like, okay, just because you're not hitting those expectations doesn't make you any less of a person. Just because you're not hitting those expectations that you have for yourself of having things under control and having the things organized and, having everything planned out and being able to be on top of things, like even though that you're not doing that, you are still of worth. You are still worth it. I am still a worthy, lovable mom. So I've really had to think about that and say, well, where does my worth come from if I'm not doing all these things that I feel that I should be doing? Where is my worth? What it really comes down to is loving myself no matter where I'm at. And I know that that's hard. That's challenging. But it's true. I am free to be loved even in my imperfections. I don't have to be perfect to make an influence in my family and the world around me. I don't have to be perfect in the way that I do things around the house. I don't have to be perfect in remembering to contact everybody that I'm supposed to. I don't have to be perfect in the way that I look, in the way that I dress. I don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and appreciation and kindness, especially to myself. I found myself kind of looking to my husband to be like, bro, give me something here. Do you love me still, even though I'm a mess right now? Do you love me? And he said something so profound to me. He said, Diana, if I told you 1,000,000 times over, it still would never click if you don't believe you are worth it yourself. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the complete answer of how to feel of worth. All I know is that with self-love, being kind and patient to ourselves, and being open to believe that we are made for a reason. We are here on this earth because a being greater than us believed in us and gave us this role of mom, gave us the role in our community, gave us the role in our marriage. We're here for a reason. And even in our imperfections, we can make a difference. Even if our expectations are not met, we are doing good and doing enough. So for me, for the next week, I'm really going to focus on figuring out what my purpose is in this very moment. I'm not talking in the grand scheme of things, like, what can I do right now? What are my expectations for right now? Is it to just rest and enjoy my family and ask for tons of help? Let loose, sit back, and love? If you struggle with feeling of worth, wondering, am I worth it? Is it worth me being here? Doing what I'm doing? Is any of this making a difference? Am I making a difference? Am I doing a good job? I want you to know that you are doing a great job. Even in your imperfections, we're all a work in progress. Even in our struggles, even in our addictions to media, food, gossiping, negativity, complaining, even in any type of flaw that we have, we are still worth it. We are still enough, and we are still loved. So I want you to look at your expectations that you have for yourself. Really sit down and think about it. What am I expecting myself to be? And if I don't hit those, do I feel of worth? Do I feel like I'm worth it? Or do I get down and depressed on myself? Again, I feel like the social media thing has really attacked that. So many expectations are set because you're seeing the best of someone's life. And so we try to match our life to that, sending expectations of having to look and be like somebody else. But maybe that's not even the life you're supposed to live. Figuring out exactly what matters the most, and then how to honor those specific things that are important to you. Lowering those expectations will be one of the best things you've ever done for yourself. And I know that by adjusting those expectations and giving ourselves a chance, we will feel better about ourselves, be happier, and trust me, everyone around you will be happier too. When the mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Let's be honest again. So know that what you're doing is good. Might you still need to change some things? Probably. Everyone does. All of us do. I have a long list. But know that you are worth it, no matter how much you feel like you're messing up. Keep putting that head down, mama, and working towards what you want. The only way to ensure that you actually get what you want is if you don't quit. So lower those expectations of yourself. Give yourself a little bit of grace, a little breather, a little break, and be proud of yourself. If you want something you can try, at the end of the day, looking at 5 things you did right, and then 5 things that you're grateful for. This helps me so much. So 5 things you did right, like I emptied the dishwasher. I gave the kids a bath. I cleaned off 1 couch. I put on clothes today. Or I ate a new vegetable. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. And then 5 things that you're grateful for, and you know what that is. So in closing, take it easy on yourself. Appreciate what you already have. Look at the good that you do. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified when the next one's available, which is every Tuesday. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Diana Ballard Live. That's at Diana Ballard, Live. And I'll see you next week on the Mom Training Podcast.